So we are talking about the story here that involved Lauren Smith-Fields, the 23-year-old woman who was found dead inside of her apartment a week and a half ago, December 12th. Okay. Rest in peace to her family. Condolences. Okay. I recently found out about this story, and I'm going to be going directly to the source for this, which is Bronx News 12. I'll leave a link to this in the description. I think the link is actually in the description. So let's go to that story now. Bridgeport family left with unanswered questions following untimely death of daughter. A Bridgeport family says they are not getting the answers they want from police after their 23-year-old daughter was found dead inside her apartment. Could you guys imagine? 23 years old, Black woman, so much life to live. It says here, Lauren Smith-Fields was found unresponsive inside of her Plymouth Street apartment on December 12th and later died. This is really sad, guys. They say the hardworking young woman had her own side business to fund her education. The medical examiner has not released the cause of death, and investigators are not commenting. Without a doubt, it says we know that my daughter was not a drug user. Put myself on the screen here. It also says, and I had a second autopsy myself paid out of pocket because we felt so uncomfortable with the way it was handled. Are you serious? All right, we'll get into this, and I'll give my thoughts. And I also want to hear from you guys. I'm going to be dropping a StreamYard link, so just bear with me. I'm just going to get through these two articles that I wanted to cover. I'll give my thoughts briefly, and then I want to hear from you guys. Family says Smith-Fields met an older white man on Bumble, and it was he who alerted police to her death. Huh? Okay. It says Lakeem Jeter, her brother, says he asked authorities about the man, but was told he was a nice guy with no need to be investigated. All right. I'm sorry if that's a little bit loud, guys. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background on me. I am qualified to talk about this because if you don't already know, I'm the host of this podcast, Monte Lee. I also work full-time currently as a probation agent. So I'm familiar with criminal justice. I supervise probationers. I do investigations. I talk to judges. I talk to attorneys all the time. So I'm familiar with the criminal justice system. That is strange to me. If there is a person who had a dating relationship or interaction with a person, they notify the police of a death, and they are not a person of interest in the slightest. That is strange to me. Okay. So let's continue here. It also goes on to say that Smith-Fields' father says the only contact they've had with the police is with a very insensitive, condescending, arrogant detective. Councilwoman Maria Perea says police owe Smith-Fields' mom an apology. She sent a really well-written email. It was lengthy. It was extensive. It was very detailed. And I was shocked when she told me just yesterday she had not even received a response. That's strange, don't you think? She says the city of Bridgeport issued a statement about the investigation saying the Bridgeport Police Department takes these concerns very seriously. The command staff of the Detective Bureau is reviewing the handling of this case to ensure that best practices were and are being followed. Yes, exactly. It also goes on to say here, it is imperative to note that the death of Lauren Smith-Fields remains an ongoing investigation. Our department extends its deepest condolences to the family of Lauren. So that is the first story there. I'll bring it back on me. So that's the first story that's That's what we have as far as the initial report of what I saw. And I don't know if other people have been privy to this and know what's going on with this. That's the first part of what we have with this story. And like I told you, I think it's strange that the person who found the body, notified the police, is not at least being investigated as a person of interest. I think that is something that has to be thoroughly looked at and thoroughly looked over. And I'm going to say, all people that are involved in what I'm talking about right now, innocent until proven guilty. I'm just giving my thoughts, perspective on the situation as of right now. Okay. And another reason why I wanted to talk about this, a couple of months back, I did a story, a video on a Miss Mercedes Morr. Do you guys remember that case? That case involved the Instagram model, the very popular Instagram model, who had a sugar daddy. And if you remember correctly, something had went left with their relationship and she ended up getting murdered by the sugar daddy client. Okay. I'm not saying these two cases are related. However, I am going to bring up that story because the topic of this video has to do with online dating and the dark side of it. And if moving around as a female, you should be more careful in who you are interacting with, who you are going to see. I don't know what measures you could possibly take to make sure you don't end up in situations like this in the future, but that is definitely something you want to be mindful of because I've seen way more in the past year or so. I don't know if it's just me, but I have seen way more cases of women coming up missing, dead from sugar daddies, from people that they're dating online, and it's starting to really become a problem. Exactly. The beta male police right here. Shout out to you. Says online dating is a no-no nowadays. Exactly. That is exactly the way I'm thinking and the way I'm feeling with what I've been seeing lately, just going on through the media and everything else. Okay. So I got the other story that I wanted to get to just to refresh you, to give you some context of what happened in regards to Miss Mercedes Morr and how I think these two stories are connected in a way. Okay. So if you don't remember this story, I'm going to show it to you now. This one was Instagram model Miss Mercedes Morr found dead in Texas apartment with man after a murder suicide. That happened, was published August 31st, 2021. Do you guys remember this story? Very sad situation. It says here, a popular Instagram model and influencer was found dead in her Houston area apartment, and authorities believe her death was a result of a murder-suicide. Janae Gagnier, rest in peace, who goes by the name of Miss Mercedes Morr on Instagram, was found dead inside her home. She died of strangulation and traumatic concussion. The man suspected of killing her, Kevin Acorto, 34, was also found dead at the scene. He died of multiple sharp force trauma. Okay. That's a picture of Miss Mercedes Morr right there. And it also says here, at this point in the investigation, it is not believed there was a relationship between the suspect and victim. Family members said they believe Acorto stalked Gagnier before killing her. And that's the picture of that suspect. I'm bringing this up because I'm pretty sure she met this man online. And when I did the initial video talking about this case, I talked about how women who have large followings, women who are meeting with men, whether it be for a dating relationship, whether it be a sugar baby or sugar daddy situation, you need to be very careful on how you move. You need to be telling family members, you need to be telling friends where you're going, who you're meeting with. I know that you are independent and I know that you have more agency and more freedom than ever, but with much power and much freedom and access comes more responsibility and more chances for, unfortunately, things like this to happen. So I always try to tie it to what can we learn from a situation? Can we come to a level of understanding? And I think that there's a dark side of this online dating that's starting to bubble up, and people are more inclined now to go and just meet up with somebody online because it has become more of a norm, but the dangers are still there and they're still present. I don't know if this is just falling on deaf ears, but this is connected in a way as far as I'm concerned when it comes to just being aware of the climate of what can happen on online dating, and make sure that you are preparing yourself. Especially if you're a woman, you need to be talking to your friends, your family, and letting them know what you're doing, because you could end up in a situation like this, unfortunately. So that's kind of the point that I wanted to tie home. Like, I don't like to have long-winded monologues or anything. I actually want to hear what you guys have to say about this.